So after Adam, it was just immediate that we had to grieve. We had to go through that process, and it was very, very quickly where we learned like we wouldn't be able to do this individually on our own. I think people grieve differently and at different times, but it was important for our family, including my side of the family, because they knew Adam pretty well too, that we would have to grieve and get through this together. So we went to therapy. We did family therapy. And we end up, I think we've talked to, Father Mike, he's a father in our church and was very, very important to my father-in-law's life. He actually my in-laws married us, baptized all the kids. And so he's a pretty important person in our lives. Faith was a big part of this as well. But like I said, it was immediate that we had to do this together. We couldn't do this individually. And so we made books, we got pictures of them. And that's kind of like what we do is every night, our girls, they say, hey, tell Uncle Adam night night. And so, cause one of them didn't meet him. And so every night the girls tell him night night. And that's kind of, that's healing for us. It tells us, but it all tells the girls like, hey, there's Uncle Adam. But for me, I think it tells us that Uncle Adam's going to watch over them tonight while they go to bed. And so that's kind of like our grieving, and every once in a while we cry, we get together and we think about him and we cry, and that's okay. That is perfectly fine. And that's just us saying, man, Adam would have loved this, or, Adam, we just had family vacation, and so that was rough too. There's certain things that come up, whether it's the first holiday, the first birthday, the second holiday, the second birthday, all this other stuff. It's just, like I said, you're never over it, and that's okay. You got to have that support group, family, therapist, a favorite coach, or whoever you trust. And it may not be somebody that and then you just go to talk to them, and they're like, oh, hey, I've done that, or, I've experienced that, or, hey, I can help you. It's important to reach out and say it's, to get together to talk about it, because you can't do this on your own. So
I think one of the big things that I would suggest to people is just finding what works for you. Not everything works for everyone. You're going to have to figure out your best way to grieve and just to go through that process. And it can be long, and I know right after Adam happened, we were kind of talking, and at one point it was said like, well, we're just gonna have to get over this, and we both learned like it's not something to just get over. It's a process. So if it takes you a while, that's okay. And then it's hard to in the moment speak up for yourself. When I look back, we have a really big family. We have a big extended family, a lot of people close by to our home. So the night it happened, the next 4 or 5 days, we obviously took our daughter and went to my parents' house every day to just, there were things that needed to be done funeral wise and just to spend time with each other. And there were always a lot of people there. And it was really nice. It was great to have that support. I think at some points it would have been nice to just have a quiet house with just our family. So I know that you got to kind of have don't be afraid to have a voice and say we need time, just us, and voice what you need that's going to help you the best. Derek kind of mentioned a couple of things that we do that has been helpful. He actually got me this picture for Christmas last year. So our oldest daughter was only a couple months old. So she got to meet Adam for just 2 months. She won't remember it. And then our youngest never got to meet him. So he actually went to a website and had them paint our girls' pictures in with a picture of Adam. So it looks like they're together. And that's the one that they tell him goodnight every night. And it's awesome. It's a great thing for us. It works for us. It makes us happy. It hangs in our living room, so we get to see him all the time. Our family's really big on pictures. We take pictures all the time. We make photo books. So one of the things that I think helped us is we made a photo book of Adam that just had ton of different happy moments of his life with all of us. And I think we have a copy, my folks have a copy, all the grandparents have copies, and it's just really nice to go back and look through. And then we use that with our girls to just show them like, hey, here's Uncle Adam with mommy and daddy. And it's nice to just reminisce and look at those pictures, because those are happy moments and those are the good ones to remember. Anything else? I would say that I don't think we do a good job as first responders talking about this and getting our emotions out about these calls, because like I said, and like Derek said, they're not easy. Even though these people we have no connection with, we don't know them, we don't know their families, those calls are hard. No one likes seeing those scenes. No one likes the heartbreak that just comes with that. And it is a weight on our shoulders too when we go to those scenes. And I don't think that we do a good enough job yet as first responders making it okay to cry about it or to get out your emotions after those calls. So I would suggest that the first responders, don't be afraid to let it out. Don't be afraid to find someone to talk to, whether it's another coworker, whether it's your spouse. I'm lucky, I'm very lucky to have a firefighter as a husband, because he can take the graphic scenes that I see and the emotions that come with it. He's been there, he's done that, so we can come home and we can both tell each other whatever it is we saw, get out all the details that are still burned into your mind, and that helps. Once you get that out to someone else, it's kind of like that weight is lifted. Other spouses might not be able to handle that, or it just might not be good for them if they're not used to that kind of stuff. So it is important to find someone that you can kind of get all that out to. Otherwise, it just kind of, it weighs on you, and it weighs on you for a while.
Yeah, and it's been a big problem, for first responders and a lot of PTSD. And then you throw like a family member onto that, it just makes that scene 10 times worse. And so, the international firefighters have spent tons and tons of money on, PTSD and the mental health, and a lot of it is gone to good use. And we've actually got a facility, International has a facility up in Maryland, where any first responders and their family that are struggling, they can go up there and receive help. So the International, I know the city of Topeka, we have a peer support group team that when Adam passed away, when Nikki passed away, I received tons of phone calls, people looking out, which is great, which is so good, because it knows that you've got help out there if you need it. And that's kind of like, that's changed like in the last, I've been a firefighter for 12, 13 years. And, in 2010, when I started, the good old boy system is you just deal with it. And that's not true anymore. It's not. And so our department, our local union, and the International has done a fantastic job, and we're continuing to work on this because it is a big issue within first responders, within the firefighter service, because like I said, it's horrible scenes, and when you have a member or family member or a friend, either that's the scene or you've experienced it on that hand, it just makes it 10 times worse. But it's tough for sure. It's tough, but like I said, we have a good support group. I have her, she has me, and we kind of get through it together. We don't do this alone. We get through it together. So